everyone, and welcome back to Neurodiverse. And as I says, I'm your host, John Arroyo, and boy, was Smackdown crazy. We had a comedic opening spot, two great matches, a main event that builds into WrestlePalooza. So let's get right into it. So we kick things off with Brock Lesnar coming out. The crowd is booing him. He says he wants John Cena. Instead of Cena, he gets Truth. Yes. So Truth comes out. He says he's tired of being overlooked, and also he can't get to John Cena. That's his brother. And Brock Lesnar is like, "You're John Cena's brother." And Truth is like, "Yeah, we have the same dad." Like the whole goofiness. And Brock Lesnar is like doing like a investigation. It was hilarious. And then out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar's like, "You know what?" He F9s the hell out of Truth, and he says, "I'm gonna still find Cena, but at WrestlePalooza, I'm gonna demolish him." Really funny way to open the show. Kind of interesting in a way. Maybe Truth somehow comes into the WrestlePalooza match in a way. I don't know, but like it's really interesting. And then backstage, Sami Zayn is talking to someone about, "Is your opportunity? I'm gonna do what John Cena did for me, a U.S. Championship Open Challenge, and it's no other than Rey Fenix." And boy, was the match good. The way that Rey Fenix and him went back and forth, Rey Fenix was flying all over, suicide dives, beautiful crossbody, a killer DDT that almost took the win. And Sami hits a double stomp off the top rope with Rey Fenix. Like that whole sequence was scary, but also cool. And at the end, Sami hits a blue thunderbomb and a haluva kick. Really good match. I would love to see a rematch between both men in longer time. I cannot wait. And then we got the women's division actually building up. Yes, especially for the SmackDown Women's US title. We actually have a storyline. So B-Fab is backstage and she is just, relaxing, And then Kiana and Julia walks in talking about how they beat up Micha and Mia Yim. And B5 says she was so busy with the Street Profits and DIY, but DIY is nowhere to be seen. Street Profits had their own issue. So she's like, "You know what? I have an issue with you, Julia and Kiana, for just attacking my friend." Julia says, "What you gonna do about it?" B5 says she wants a match. So then we get a match. And boy, B5 was pretty good. Like, she's been growing. Like, if you saw her in the ring, she's really improving. And I loved how right away she just attacked Kiana James and she went straight for Julia with her kicks. But out of nowhere, Julia knocks her down. Almost, and then Kiana James gets frustrated and flustered from the attack from earlier. So she jumps with Julia on B-Fab. So no disqualification. Like the match gets phoned out and they're beating the hell out of her. But then Michin like a boss. We know Michin. She's hardcore. She came in with a kendo stick, whipping both girls. And when she whipped Kiana James with the kendo stick with her purse, oh, that smack was heard around. And I cannot wait. So does this mean we're getting a triple threat? Does this mean we're getting a tag team match? Hopefully it's not a tag team match. I would love the storyline to be Julia against Michin, B-Fab, and maybe, where's Vega? I would love Vega to return. Because Julia needs that good storyline. So having multiple women coming after Julia builds Julia up when she loses the US title later on and makes her reign mean something and builds up the other woman as well. So I really like how we're building the mid-card division with this storyline. And then we got the Wyatt Six in a chilling promo. They pretty much backstage, the creepy lights. And Bo Dallas is like, "The Street Profits said they had brotherhood. What happened? They turned against each other. They started ripping each other apart." And that's what happens. If you're not united like us, the six unity of darkness, and if Rowan says, it doesn't, don't they reciprocate the same feelings of brotherhood? They don't understand what it means to be family like the Wyatt Six. And other tag teams should be aware. And I love the storyline of the Wyatt Six messing with people, especially Bill Dallas when he's not in Uncle Howdy. Like he goes backstage and he's talking to the wrestlers, putting doubts in their minds. And when I do my Words Collide review, I'm going to just say it. Wyatt Six shows up. I'm going to talk about that in that review, but Wyatt Six is taking over the tag team division and I cannot wait. We will get to that. But Wyatt Six is here and they're here to dominate. Then we got the Women's WWE Championship match with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I was kind of worried because if you saw their SummerSlam match, it was good but a little sloppy. These girls improved so much in the ring. It was so polished. Right away, both women does cartwheels, bombs, swantons. The way that Tiffany does her gymnastic background and Jade is able to keep up. Some of my favorite moves was when Tiffany hits the Alabama Slam cartwheel into the moonsault, but then Jade kicks out of the moonsault and goes straight for a pump up kick. Like the whole sequence of hit after hit after hit. And then Tiffany on the top rope trying to hit a moonsault, but then it gets reversed into a blue thunder bomb from Jade looking devastating. These women put on a fight. And as well as how Jade tried to do chokeslam, Tiffany reversed it into a stomp, a double stomp. Like it was really like hard hitting, but really good. But at the end, Jade and Tiffany goes for the barricade. The referee calls a disqualification because it's getting too violent. And then the dominator of the women's division, Nia Jax, comes and just demolishes all the women. She squashes Tiffany. She beats the hell out of Jade. So I cannot wait to see where this goes. Hopefully this means a triple threat. And I can see the triple threat happen at WrestlePalooza. And then whoever walks out as champion, most likely, if Bianca Belair comes back soon, they will face Bianca. But I kind of like it. I kind of liked it. If they wasn't gonna give Jade the title, they did a finish that didn't look like both of them got buried. And the storyline is starting to actually pick up a little more. And the match was good, so I cannot wait to see what they do later on. And then we have a couple backstage segments before the main event. So Chelsea Green is going to Nick Aldis saying, "What happened to Shirley?" She says she's injured. Nick Aldis says she is injured. Her leg is broken. And Chelsea's like, "Oh, I want a title match. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to destroy the locker room with Piper and Alba." And Nick says, "Okay, after Homecoming, whoever wins against Alexa and Charlotte and Izzy and Tatum, you're next." And Chelsea Green is happy about that. So we already know the next contenders for the women's tag team titles, and that storyline is progressing. Then backstage, we had Carmelo Hayes go up to Sami Zayn, an extra U.S. title match. Sami Zayn says, "Yes, Miz overhears and he's mad." Because Miz said, "I thought you talked to Nick Aldis about having a match." He said, "I did. I thought it was a tag team title match." Melo says, "No, it was a solo match." And Miz says, "Why you didn't tell me?" He's like, "Because I can do it by myself." And Miz says, "No, you can't." And Melo's like, "Why not go for both titles?" He's like, "How can you do that? You used to do that." And it's kind of like that tension building. And I cannot wait for Melo to like drop the Miz so Melo can finally go solo. And then we get a crazy main event. So we had Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, and these guys fought like no tomorrow. The whole storyline of Randy injuring his leg during the match and Drew just ripping him apart, putting finger four leg locks, ankle holds, like really getting into it. But Randy slamming Drew on the announce table twice. But near the end, Drew pushes the referee into Randy and then hits the Claymore kick. And then after, Drew beats the hell out of him. And then he almost breaks Randy's head into the announce table on the side. But Cody Rhodes shows up to break it up. Really good, and pretty much that means Cody Rhodes and Randy are going to have a match at WrestlePalooza, so I cannot wait. So hopefully you guys like this review, and I'll see you guys next time.